everybody. How is everyone doing? Good. This is, as you all know, this is the part 2 of the topic, origin and role of music in Hinduism. I must start my lecture with a Vandana to Saraswati. Last time, as you all know, we covered a little bit of the Vedic scriptures, the Rucha, the Samhitas, how it evolved into the Upanishads was the Vedanta philosophy, the superbly sophisticated philosophy that is beautifully given for our learning, reading, contemplation, and general tranquility. We discussed all those things. At the same time, we also discussed about how the Shiva, with his Damru playing, came up with, rather his Damru playing was evolving into 14 various chandas, out of which one of the chandas we are all extremely familiar with, almost all of them, all of us. And I gave an example of few of the other chandas, Anushtupa Chanda and then, others, Dushta Chanda, etc. We will talk about and we will focus mainly on music part of Hinduism. My friends, music cannot be separated from Hinduism. It is an integral, inseparable part of Hinduism. It has been there since the Vedic times. It has been there during the Upanishad time. It has been there all along, evolving from one into the other, to the third, and so on and so forth till today, into a beautiful repertoire of various genres of music, many of them, all of them, focusing in some way or other and based on, in some way or other, Hinduism, either Hindu mythology, Hindu philosophy, the rituals, or in general, Hinduism. In Rigveda, which is the very first Veda, we know there are the Ruchas, and the Ruchas of the Rigveda they were all prose, they were never sung. The Ruchas were essentially said by the people who were sitting around the yajna or reciting, praying the various gods, gods of rain, Indra, Varuna, Agni, etc. Along with Rigveda, Samaved came. Samaved was there. Samaved is a Ved of music. Sa adik ama, rucha adik music becomes sama, and that is going hand in hand with the Rigveda. I'll give you an example. There is a rucha in the Rigveda. Agni a yahi vitaye. Agni a yahi vitaye. If I just say that, it means, oh Agni, please come for the feast. This was, that these were all the praises of various gods. But if I just keep saying, Agni, ayahi vitaye, oh Agni, please come for the feast, it sounds a little monotonous, little boring, little dry, isn't it? Samaved gave a hand to these ruchas. That is for Agni. Ognai ayahi. That is again, please come. Vitayai. Ognai ayahi. Vitayai. Just imagine all the people sitting around and singing this together in a group. How wonderful and very tranquilizing kind of feeling a person can get while inviting the Agni for feast. From this came the three notes, Sa, Re and Ga, and they were always done with a permutation and combination of only these three notes. Sa, Re, Ga, Ga, Re, Sa, Sa, Re, Ga, Ga, Re, Ga, Re, Ga, Re, Sa, Re, Sa, Re, Sa, Sa, Re, Ga, Re, Ga, Re, Sa, Re, Ga, Ga, Re, Ga, Re, Sa, Re, Sa, Re, Ga, etc. and etc. So with the permutation and combination of these, all the ruchas were sung continuously, which were basically in the Rigveda. You have heard the words Matu and Dhatu. One stands for music, and the other one Dhatu is a Sanskrit word that stands for the actual word. Okay, that's how the ruchas were sung in the Samaved. From there, from the Rigveda Samaved, while the seekers were very much in tune with the nature, from the heights of the Himalayas, from the deep forests, from the rising or setting suns, from the ripening of the fruits, from the blossoming of the flowers, from the chirping of the birds, from the crying of the animals, from all these, what came to their hearing? Sound. Sound was the one that the seeker, our ancestor, got intrigued. There is tremendous sound in the entire universe. And that sound, after thinking, contemplating, and after deep thought, they came up with this beautiful word, Nada Brahma. Nada Brahma. The meaning of Nada is sound, of course, and it is, last time we said Brahman and Nada Brahma. Nada Brahma or Shabda Brahma. These are almost like synonyms for all of us, for the Hindus. Nada Brahma, Brahman, Shabda Brahma, we don't differentiate much in these, because these are one and the same in our minds and in reverence for us. Nada Brahma, Bhartruhari, one of the finest, one of the most learned, one of the old sages, a brilliant sage, Bhartruhari, came up with, he did the analysis of the Shabda Brahma or Nada Brahma, and he came up with 4 different sects, S-E-C-T-S, sects of the Nada Brahma. First one was the Para, second one was the Pashyanti, third one was the Madhyama, and the last one was the Vaikhari. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. Para is the eternal reality, eternal truth. It is the Brahman. It is the sound of the Brahman, if that's the case. Pashyanti, the Sanskrit dhatu pashya means to see. When a thought occurs in your mind, that thought we visualize before anything. That visualization, it's a visual imagery, let's say. That is Pashyanti. Madhyama. Madhyama, as the word stands or explains, it is an in-between stage. And the last one is Vaikhari. Vaikhari is actually the spoken word or the syllable. So when we are singing all these things, or when we are talking with each other, when I'm lecturing right now, when you are having a wonderful conversation, these four parts are essentially existent. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikhari. Especially in the learned conversation, when there used to be many dialogues, sometimes many monologues. That's where all these four parts of Shabda Brahma, Nada Brahma, played essentially their roles. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikhari. Okay? From this Chanda, the Damaru, everyone knows Gayatri mantra. Gayatri is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. There are four more parts to that in the first part. The actual Gayatri mantra, actually the Rucha or the mantra started with Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. However, people were concerned about reciting. So for recitation, they added Om Bhu, Om Bhuva, Om Swaha, Om Tapaha, Om Janaha, and Om Satyam. And then Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. But it was not fitting into the Chanda. The name of the Chanda is Gayatri Chanda. So they were again very bright people. They said, if people want to say it with a proper emphasis on all the 24 syllables that are generated by this particular Chanda, there must be some deletions happening. So they did Om, so they deleted the last four, and they did Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, and that Om part was taken out, Tat Savitur Varenyam, etc. And the Gayatri. The name of this particular mantra or Rucha is called Gayatri mantra mainly because or only because it is set in a Chanda by name Gayatri. It is not a Gayatri mantra. Of course, we associate Gayatri as a Devi, but it is in the Chanda by the name Gayatri, therefore the Gayatri mantra. We all recite Gayatri mantra over and over again. What is the reason why we do that? Because the recitation, the Omkar Nad, it starts creating beautiful vibrations within your body. Those vibrations are putting pressures. See, our people thought so beautifully. The pressures are put on Oshtya, Dantya, Talavya, Murdhavya and Kanthya. These are the 5 pressure points. If anyone has learned our regional language, they know how the phonetics of our language works. And by putting the pressure on all these, while saying those mantras, what we are doing is we are connecting to the various power centers of our body, thereby generating enough energy and enough concentration for contemplation. And therefore, this Gayatri mantra is superbly set for our own good. If we all recite that mantra about 3 to 5 minutes every day, time is not necessary morning, afternoon, evening. Whenever you get 3 to 5 minutes per day, if you recite it, it is, you are re-energizing, you are revitalizing your body. I can assure you that because I have tried that. And Gayatri Mantra is something that we all know. Even in our mandir, even we are starting a meeting, be it an executive meeting, trustees meeting, any gathering, any congregation, we start with the Gayatri Mantra because it harmonizes the whole environment. It spreads beautiful vibrations among all of us. And with good vibrations, the results are always good. That's what we are hoping, and we get many times, most of the times, hopefully, isn't it? So that's how the Vedic scriptures, going back again, Rigved, Samaved, and the singing of the Ruchas dictated by the Samaved, the Ruchas coming from the Rigveds, is how the Vedic culture and the Vedic Sanskriti and the Vedic time evolved. Samagan became extremely popular for a long time. But then, that also started getting a little monotonous. Only 3 notes, sa re ga. So what happened was that evolved into Gandharvagan. Gandharvagan is coming, it's like Samagan is a father or the grandfather of Gandharvagan, where the Gandharvas were known to improvise all this singing coming from the Samagan. And it was very melodious. And as I had mentioned last time, the 2 sons, the twin boys of Sri Ram, Prabhu Sri Ram, Lava and Kusha, are known to be the first Gandharva singers of our culture. That is very strongly believed, and we would like to trust what we have been and believe what we have been told. Another wonderful Gandharva Gayak was Sage Narada. He would take his veena. By the way, veena is mentioned in the Samaved. Veena is mentioned in the Samaved. So the lute or the veena, Narada Muni would take that, and he would travel all over singing. And that singing was praise of mainly Narayan, but it was mainly Gandharva Gan. How did this Gan evolve? How did it come into existence? Our ancestors, our seekers were extremely intelligent and very perceptive, very innovative, very imaginative. When they were listening to all the sounds coming from the nature, they felt that there are different frequencies. Today, in today's terms, in scientific parlance, we call them frequency levels. In physics, we call them frequency levels. They came up with 7 notes, Sapta Sura. The first came from the crying of the peacock. If you have noticed, peacock and his wife, the female peacock, one is very much in the Kharja Swara, that means lower, the other one screams in the very high. So, and they are in tune with each other. So that's how they came up with the Kharja Sa and Tarasa. Would you believe that? Peacock. Rishabha, that is from the crying of the bull. That gave them that sound that this frequency is very much little bit higher than the Shadja, the first note. So it was called, initially very old time it was called Rishabha, which means bull, but Rishabha. Then came the Gandhar. Gandhar came from the crying of the goat, because our ancestor used to see goats all over the meadows, maybe, I don't know. Then came Madhyama. It's from there is a bird by name Kraunch Pakshi, Kraunch Panchi. Madhyama came from there. And everybody knows the 5th note, Pancham, came from the bird Koyal, Kokila. Okay? So 5 were done. 6th one was the neighing of the horse, Dhaivat. It came from the neighing of the horse, believe it or not. And the seventh one came from the chitkar, the elephant. The shouting and screaming, and those were all mating calls of the elephant. Nishad. So the seven notes were Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, and then the male peacocks Tarsa. The females was Kharja, by the way. The male was Tarsa. So this is how the Indian octave was created. Shadja, Rishabha, Gandhar, Madhyama, Panchama, Dhaivata, Nishad, Shadja again. These are the seven notes. And then people started, sages, I should say, people, they started singing all these ruchas in various notes. Just imagine, with a combination of only three, sa, re, ga, they could come up with so many permutations and combinations. If they are to do seven permutation and combination of seven notes, what a large number of combinations they would have. And this is how the Samagan evolving into Gandharvagan started, getting popular. It got very popular. Some of our seekers, ancestors, they were not yet that happy. They wanted a little more, something more. But this Saptasura was so beautifully set into the spectrum that they were a little bit concerned if they would disturb the entire spectrum of the Saptasura. So they said, why don't we move some of these notes here and there? So, first one was Achala Swara, never to move. Sa remains Achala. Re, we will move Re. Where will it go? If it goes a little high, it will go into the territory of the Gandhar. So they made it Komala Re. Deviation slightly towards low. Same thing they did with the third note, Gandhar. Deviation slightly to the lower. And they called it Komal. Slightly lower than the original one. There wasn't enough room between after the Shuddha Ga for Ma. So they raised the Ma a little bit. It is called in today's language Tivra Madhyam. Then came Pancham. Pancham became a sort of a consort of Shadja, Achalaswar. It neither deviates lower side nor on the higher side. Another Achalaswara. And then Dhaivata and Nishad, same thing. They started deviating towards the lower, and Komal Dha and Komal Ni. And then they were happy. On the spectrum of so many Shrutis, which were the sounds recorded, they're mentally recorded from the nature, there were 7 positions earlier, and then adding on to them 5 more positions, thereby creating 12 positions in that spectrum of 22 Shrutis, making it a complete foundation for the music. And this music has been there. Shadja, Komalare, Shuddhare, Komalaga, Shuddhaga, Ma, Tivra Ma, Panchama, Komaladha, Shuddhadha, Komalani, Shuddhani, and then Tar Saptaksa. This has been a foundation for our music. Music itself. I don't mean only classical music or semi-classical, or these are all the genres later on divided as per their structures, but music was founded upon these 12 wonderful, strong foundation of Sura. When we say, how does this 7 notes or 12 notes, what is the big deal about it? What is it that impresses us so much? What should impress us? What happened was, our Indian music has given 4 tremendous gifts to the world of music, or to the music of the world. Both world of music and music of the world. And those 4 things are Raga, Tala, Vistar and Rasa. And I'll go a little bit in detail. Raga are basically combinations of various notes. These are melodic structures, and these are the frameworks are formed of the ragas, never to go outside the framework, so the raga remains within that framework. You can do whatever combinations you would like, as much as you like, as much as your caliber allows, as much as your vocal cords are capable of, but the framework remains absolutely confined. That is the rag. Not just that, it has emotive quality. The emotive quality which was given to the rag, or which automatically comes out of the rag, is so important that that's what has made this music so close to our heart and so revered to all our, deities. I will give some examples a bit later. Tala. Tala is rhythm. How did tala, the word, they say that even the word tala came into existence by the Tandava Nrutya. I had told you that last time that Shiva did a beautiful Tandava, beautiful in the sense a very vigorous Tandava Nrutya when he was really mad, angry, livid at something. And that Tandava Nrutya, the Ta, and to calm him down, to soften him down, his consort, female consort Parvati, she did a Lasya dance, and that, the very soft movements, and that's how the Tala came into existence. Tala, in a very crude translation, we say it's a rhythm, but Tal has a lot more than Tal. Rhythm is a very crude translation of Tal, to tell you honestly. I will tell you why. Our Tal, or our rhythmic structure, it goes in a cyclic form, in a circular form. Whereas all the rhythmic aspect, all the rhythms of all the Western music, Chinese music and music of Africa, they are all in the linear structured. They are all linear in their structures. They flow from one and then they never come back to the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, da, 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 da. And it never comes back. Whereas ours, it's in a circular form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1. Take Tal, Teen Tal. First one. The first one is either called a Sama, or it is called a Sama, but it's one says either it is an originating point or the culminating point. Doesn't matter. But Sama has to be attained by any singer or player. Dha, din, din, dha, dha, din, din, da, dha, din, din, da, da, din, din, da, da. That dha has to be attained by a singer or a performer. All the listeners also know, if the person doesn't sometimes land on the Sama, we say, oops, oops, things like that. So it has to be perfect. So I'll give you one reason why it is like that. Third one is Vistar. Vistar is improvisation. Again, a very loose translation. Improvisation, we have only so many notes given in any rag. Only so many notes. But then, your imagination, your creative ability, your caliber, your thinking, your digestion of the rag you have done over the years, your contemplation, all those things come into effect, and then you go into the Vistar. But 9 out of Tal, 100 out of 100, but Vistar, 90 out of 100 times we come back to the original. Once in a while we do leave it sometime in the middle. That is normally to pick up the Sama point. Right? If we are thinking, oh, I'm not reaching the Sama in the time, then we leave it in the middle, come back to the Sama, and then we catch it up later on. Tal has to be like that. So Vistar follows Rag and Tal both in a very circular form. And I'll tell you why. I'll give you some demonstration of these things, and then I will explain why. I started with Sharjo, came back to the Sharjo. There is a beautiful bandish in this rag. Bola bola mose nand ko harwa. Bola bola mose nand ko harwa. Ras bhari batiya lage madhura tori. Ras bhari batiya lage madhura tori. Bola bola mose nand ko harwa. Sama ma pa ma pa da ma ma re sa. Bola bola mose nand ma ba da ni da pa pa da ma ma ba da ni sa da ni da pa pa da. Bola bola mose nand ko harwa. I'll give you one more example in a different tal. It's a 10-beat tal. The one earlier I just sang was 16-beat. Talking and singing. Tiratha ko saba kare dina 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 tiratha ko saba kare davapu ja kare vasana namare kaise kare bhavatare dhiratha ko. What did I do just now? Every time I was reciting this, I was coming back to the sum because that is how it's designed to start every line with the first beat of the tal. And there is a tabla expert sitting here and I see him counting on his thing. Thank you. I'm glad. I was also noticing that, and so what I'm trying to say is raga, tala, how they are connected with each other within the given framework of the rag, within the circular structure of the tal. Why is it like that? The reason for that is, as many of you have studied Gita, there is a very beautiful, in the second chapter itself, there is a very beautiful shloka. Dehasmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. This is the philosophy of the Gita, of the Upanishad by name Bhagavad Gita. Dehasmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. Birth or the conception, birth, growth, death, decay. Conception, birth, growth, death, decay. Conception, growth, birth, growth, death, decay. It's going in a circle. Can we escape that? No, we don't. Do we want to escape that? Yes. But can we do that easily? No. That is moksha. If we do it, whenever we do it, it's moksha. And I don't know how many, I'm not going to go to the moksha so soon, I know that. There are a lot of things I have done, I shouldn't have done. But anyway, I was not that mature then. Not that I'm too mature today, however. So this philosophy of going in circle of life's philosophy of birth and death is so beautifully followed. This is one school of thought, okay? Somebody may not agree with this, but one very powerful school of thought that the cycle, the circular nature of human life, right from conception to the final decay, does happen in a circular form, and therefore we have our musical structures, whether it is raga improvisation, whether it is tala structure, and whether we are doing a vistar within those two parameters. It's all pertaining to our own philosophy of birth and death, cyclical or circular form of life. This is one powerful school of thought which I would like to believe, and I do believe, because when you study the musical systems of rest of the world, and there are 6 of them, and I've been going to the universities teaching our musical system and then having a discussion with other professors of other musical systems. Our system is the only one which moves in a circular form. That's why I'm very strongly postulating that this could be the only one. You may find some references elsewhere, and if you do, please share them with me. I would love to. Okay. The 4th most important, to me most important, but very important to all of them, the gift given by our music, which was based on Hinduism, is the rasa, concept of rasa, rasa nishpatti. Rasa nishpatti, or the emotive quality, the catharsis, the emotional catharsis is so important in our music that there is no music without the bhav. There is no music without the emotions. There is no music given to anyone, whether it is created by someone, performer, or whether it is listened to by the listeners. There is no music if there is no rasa creation. And many times we see the rasa creation from the audience. Some people are having a facial expression. Some people are nodding in beautiful tal. Some people have their eyes closed. So you know that most in here, especially in North American audience, I see they sit with eyes closed, completely concentrated. They don't do the spot appreciations that we Indians are used to. Oh, Baba, kya baat hai, are. They don't do that. But they close their eyes and they nod gently. So you know there is rasa. Some people do it by the spot appreciation, and then at the end there is a clapping and this and that. This is all a response to the rasa creation. And rasa, the catharsis, the aesthetics of the music, no other musical system has such a prominent feature of rasa that we have in Indian music. I'm not biased, but I've been very fortunate and very proud of our music, extremely dedicated to it. No, I'm not proud in a wrong way, but I'm very happy and feel blessed that I got to learn, and I'm still learning, the music that has given the world such phenomenal gifts. Raga, how many other musical systems has raga? No. Tala, how many others have tala? Not our circular tal structure, they all have rhythm. How many others have vistar, the improvisation? Jazz music does claim to have some improvisation, however, it is not within the framework given. So our vistar is not there. How many of the musical systems have the kind of rasa nishpatti where the performance is performing and the listeners are responding or reciprocating, and the more you respond, the more I feel like creating. Supposing I come here with a preparation of 7 alap and I'm getting such a fantastic response from there's a good chance that I'm going to sing not 7 but 17 alaps or 70 alap, because I'm getting such a fantastic audience. And because the listener recreates, The performer creates, but the listener recreates. It's almost like a conveyor belt. I'm creating, going to the listener is responding back, coming back with the recreation, and isn't it beautiful? How many musical system has this? Not many. I would say only Indian music. all this is because of a strong foundation of Rasanishpati in Hinduism. Believe me, the philosophy of Hindus have, many other religions don't even accept music as a part of human life, let alone anything else. They say Sangeet haram hai, and we feel bad, and we feel sad, and we feel sorry for those who think that. But Geetam Vadyam Tatha Nrutyam Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. Whether it is a dance, whether it is an instrumental music, whether it is a vocal music, everything is Sangeet. And the foundation is this beautiful Hindu philosophy, Hindu rituals, and Hindu mythology. I would say Hindu mythology, there is a robust enthusiasm in Hindu mythology for music. Have you any time gone to any puja where there is no music? Cannot happen. Have you any time had a bhajan sandhya where there is no music? Bhajan is music. Bhajan prabhat, bhajan sandhya, bhajan anjali, whatever it is, bhajan, kirtan, these are all essential parts of Hindu mythology. How did the mythology come into effect? By all these wonderful deities. The goddess Saraswati holding the veena, Nataraj, Shiva, dance, and the god of dance and tal, Nritya and tal, and of course Krishna Bhagwan. Krishna Bhagwan is as big a philosopher as he was a musician. One might read Gita, one might dissect Gita to the nth degree, but one cannot forget that he was a Basuri player. He was a mesmerizing musician, and his music is as rampant and as much popular, or perhaps more, than the philosophy he preached all his life. Because philosophy needed a lot of learning, a lot of contemplation. Music is everybody's gift. Anyone who can hear, music is their gift. Krishna Bhagwan reached all of the people who could hear. So, with the mythology, with the deities who were actually representing the Brahman, nobody knows Brahman. It's Nirguna Nirakar. We don't know how it looks. Whether it is he, she, it, how it looks, what shape it is, size is it, what color, what gender, we don't know. But they are but it is beautifully, I'm saying it because I don't know what I should say. Brahman is beautifully represented by various deities. And these deities are giving us that way to reach Brahman. Saraswati, Shiva, Krishna Bhagwan. So, this is how the Hindu mythology and rituals, of course, all the mantras. When we are doing the puja, what are we doing? We are singing so many mantras. We are doing Rama Puja, we are doing Rama Raksha. Loka Viramam Ranarangadhiram Rajiva Netram Raghuvanshanatham Karunya Rupam Karunakarantam Shri Ramachandram Sharanam Prapadde, and on and on and on. If you are doing Ganesh Puja, Vakratunda Mahakaya, and all that. Even Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Mahe. There is always a musical application to all these shlokas we have given. Thereby, there are two purposes. One, it's very easy to remember, isn't it? It's easy to memorize. And secondly, it does create some beautiful harmony, isn't it? So, this is how the mythology carried with a tremendous enthusiasm to music to us. Sometimes I feel, was it music that carried all these beautiful mythological stories and all those big, storage of mythology to the future generation, or was it the mythology that carried the music? We don't know. Maybe they both walk hand in hand, music and mythology. Therefore, we know many of them, Sage Narada once asked, this is in Padma Purana, Sage Narada once asked Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan, where do you exactly live? I want to know. I'm going all over. Sometimes I see you there, sometimes I see you there. Where do you exactly? Bhagwan Vishnu he said, don't you sing all the time? Yes. So I'm with you. But what do you mean? Okay. Naham vasami vaikunthe. I don't live in the heavens. Hrudaye yoginam hrudaye nacha. I don't live in the hearts of the yogi also, who are doing the tapasya, standing on one leg and all those things. Yoginam hrudaye nacha. I am also not there. Madbhakta yatra gayanti. Wherever my bhaktas sing, gayanti, tatra tisthami Narada. That's where I live. That's where I reside. So Narada, continue your singing. As long as you are singing, I am with you, because I am always with my bhaktas for singing. Isn't that a beautiful, very beautiful shlok? It tells you, maybe that's what made me get into music deeper. I want Bhagavan Vishnu always with me. Maybe that's why. And then various these deities of the Vishnu. So that's the answer. That is. Then again, Padma Puran. What is Puran? Again, mythology. Lots of Purans are all mythology. Some people, those who are very, very intelligent, very contemplative, very deep into study, they may not like the Puran. I can understand that, and I let it be. I say, okay, usko अच्छा नहीं लगता है Puran. That's okay. Let him do some Sanskrit reading. Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad. Actually, Chandogya Upanishad has a beautiful writing about Omkar. In Bhagavad Gita, Vedanam Samavedosmi. Of all the Ved, I am the Samaved, Krishna says. And then he also says later on, Pranava Vedeshu Pranava. Pranava Vedeshu. In all the Veda, among all the Vedas, I am the Samaved. And in the Veda, I am the Pranava, which is Omkar. Pranava is Omkar. And Chandogya Upanishad says that the rasa of Omkar, Udgata, Udgita, whatever, is singing. The rasa, Omkar, rasa of Omkar is singing. That is what Chandogya Upanishad. So even all these deeper philosophies have come back to the music, praising it and accepting and acknowledging the wonderful service, if I can use the word, music is doing to them. Now I will do some demonstrations of all these rasas. We talked quickly about the Rasanishpatti. I will just take one rag which has only 5 notes. Sare ga pa da sa. Sare ga pa da sa, sa dha pa ga re sa. A simple pentatonic scale called Rag Bhupali. Now I'm going to focus all my songs on Krishna because they are very well known. Dur se aayi priya radhika milan ko nand kishore kunj kunj mein dhoodhe madho kaha gayo Shrungara Rasa. Radha is coming, and later on this song has how she is all dressed up with various beautiful bangles and clothes and singar. She's doing all that, coming to meet, wanting to meet Lord Krishna, and she's trying to find him. So this Shrungara Rasa is so beautifully depicted with all these notes built into that poetry. Okay? Now what I will do is, I will just make one note deviate to the lower part, Komal Gandhar, and the rasa changes completely. Sare ga pa ga pa da da pa ga pa da sa sa da pa ga re sa re dha sa. I have taken all the notes as before except one, that is the third note ga, which I have taken in a deviation. Do you feel the rasa different here? It is a bhakti rasa. Hari mero jeevana pranadhar, Hari mero jeevana pranadhar, Hari mero jeevana pranadhar. Santa Meera says that Hari is my life, Lord Bhagavan Krishna. Completely the rasa changes from Shrungara rasa to the Bhakti rasa. I will make two notes deviation and you will see a difference. Sa re ga ga pa ga pa dha da pa ga pa dha pa ga re ga re sa. Paiya padu tore shama shama paya padu tore shama. Do you see a difference here? Same thing. Sa re ga pa dha pa ga re sa. Same notes. Sa re ga pa dha sa, sa dha pa ga re sa. By deviating one note, you added from the Shrungar, you went to the Bhakti rasa. By making two different notes, Rishabh and Dhaval, deviating them to the Komal forms, you made the rasa from not Karuna, not Bhakti, not Shrungar, Karuna rasa. This is what is rasa nishpatti. Therefore, Omkara rasa, that is so important. And that's what has created a tremendous tranquility, and Indian music is attracting more and more world scholars, world people everywhere. I'm getting busier now that I'm retired. I'm getting busier by going to various universities and teaching, because looks like all of a sudden there is Indian music and philosophy, Hinduism, mythology. These are all the basis of this beautiful music. Only performer or creator doesn't have to do that. We all can do that. That's another beauty. A group singing, for example, we will do some group singing. Prata bolo, sandhya bolo, din mein bolo, nishi mein bolo, sham 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 sham, jaya jaya sham sham, sham 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 sham, jaya jaya sham sham. Prata bolo, sandhya bolo, din mein bolo, nishi mein bolo, sham 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 sham, jaya jaya sham sham sham. Did we not connect with each other? bring that beautiful interconnectedness among us. And we are all praying together as one people. And that's the effect of music, my friends. And we are praying, that means we are praying some deity, and deity is a representation of the Brahman, Saraswati, or Shiva, or Krishna, anyone, or all of them. We have so many beautiful statues there. Those are all various deities. Feels so nice, just close your eyes, listen to some music, and we are reaching Brahman. Through music, we are reaching Brahman. We can conquer humanity through music. We all sit together, pray for 15 minutes together. We have conquered humanity. I think we should send these messages to some, relevant people of the world, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking of one particular.
Yes. More than one.
Well, I'm thinking of only one.
So, I will not take too much time. I know you've been sitting more than an hour. I will just give you a beautiful drishtanta. Ramakrishna Paramahans, who was a guru of Swami Vivekananda, he had given a beautiful vision. He used to say, rather he said that he used to get a vision. When he would close his eyes, he would imagine a big mass of white light. From that, there would be avatar of Saraswati, manifestation of Saraswati. Saraswati would start playing veena. The music would start flowing out of her veena. From that music came the birds, the animals, the fish, the rivers, the brooks, the mountains, the people, everybody. The whole world, basically. Eventually, the goddess would stop playing. All these things would disappear. The whole thing would go back into a big white mass of white light. Eventually, when the Gurudev used to open his eyes, the mass would disappear. What a vision! And what a vision encompassing the philosophy of Hindus and the music of Hindus. That's the role of music in Hinduism, my dear friends. Thank you so much.